So the bulk of this information today comes from Rockstar Games insider Tez Funds 2, who's talking a lot about Grand Theft Auto 6 and a handful of various topics. And it actually begins with Grand Theft Auto 6 and how their missions should be designed. Because the person who started this conversation said that they see people complaining about Rockstar's game design of going from point A to point B, but that no one really suggests how the missions should be. And insider Tez Funds 2 said this: I think the solution most people would propose is giving more freedom. To be fair, I've played games that marketed this idea of having total freedom, and the missions were as boring as dealing with an A to B missions. Most certainly, total freedom shouldn't be applied to each and every mission of the game, because the problem with that is as you give that level of freedom, you strip the game of elements that make linear design missions cool. You end up feeling a main mission is no different from a side quest. I'm thinking maybe introducing the stealth aspect to more missions, especially since the protagonists this time are more of companions as suggested by the leaked videos, and maybe linking some A to B missions to heist or unique multi-approach missions down the road. So I think Rockstar definitely did a better job of this with Red Dead Redemption 2. Yes, things were linear, like they had a starting point and an ending point, but there was definitely some multiple ways to do the missions, as well as some sort of secret ways in which they could be done. That was kind of my favorite part with Red Dead Redemption 2 is, what if you did a mission this way? What would the outcome be? Would you get a secret cutscene, or would it change the way the game ended, or would it change a way a character's fate was resolved? All that sort of stuff is really, really cool. And because we know our protagonist in Grand Theft Auto 6, Lucia and Jason, they're going to be companions, this offers a different way in which you might be able to complete some of the missions. Do you do them with Jason in one role, Lucia in the other, vice versa? Do you do one only solo as Jason or solo as Lucia? How does that change things? Or do you do them together cooperatively and sort of a stealth aspect, as insider Tez Funds 2 ended up mentioning? I feel like there's a lot of different ways Rockstar is going to be able to approach this, but let me know what you think in those comments down below. How do you think the missions in Grand Theft Auto 6 are going to work, and how do you think they need to work given our two main characters? Now, moving on to some more information, I want to talk about some of the rare and exotic animals that Rockstar look like they're going to be adding in the game, because we know Vice City and its surrounding areas, that's more of a tropical atmosphere, a tropical setting. Someone ended up saying, I expect a lot of the Everglades not having much to offer apart from alligators. And insider Tez Funds 2 said maybe some Bengal tigers within a tourist site or something. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, the Florida Everglades, which is also part of the Everglades National Park, these are essentially a giant area of wetlands. It's a 1.5 million acre wetlands preserve on the southern tip of the United States of Florida. And it's often compared to a grassy, slow-moving river. It's basically made up of coastal marshes and whatnot, but it's home to hundreds of animals, including some endangered species, and Rockstar is surely going to incorporate this area in Grand Theft Auto 6. And what he's basically countering here is that the Everglades aren't going to have much to offer. I actually completely disagree, especially, again, if we go back to Red Dead Redemption 2, it was amazing how they would take some areas of the map that you might not consider to be all that exciting and technically boring, but throw in a couple of Easter eggs, or throw in a place where like a spooky mystery happens, or you've got this crazy rare and exotic animal that can kill you instantly, or you have to hunt it down. Something like that made the game really, really cool. Outside of the big areas like Valentine and Saint Denis, it was cool to be able to explore them and still have stuff to do. So the Everglades could have a lot to offer, of course, way more than just alligators. And he ends up saying Bengal tigers within a tourist site or something like that. That's definitely a big part of the Florida Everglades too, is the tourism. So maybe there is going to be this rare and exotic animal or random encounter or something along those lines that brings players to that area, and then you're able to see some craziness that's going on. Now, there was more follow-up to that, as someone ended up saying, I heard long ago from my friend's friend there will be tigers and lions in the game, and that the guy is really working for Rockstar, but I don't know what position he's working. So kind of ignore that last part, but Insider Tez Funds 2 said this: Rockstar already has a lion model on RDR2, but tigers are the new addition we will see in GTA 6. But I don't think we will see them in the wild, but more of a random event like at the Animal Sanctuary and Alligator Park in the Everglades.
Now, with GTA 6 expected to be revealed later this year, one of the next things that we can look forward to after the initial reveal is pre-orders finally beginning. Now, pre-orders are obviously a major revenue source for any game developer out there, and that means during pre-orders is the best time to get your hands on any limited editions for the game. Now, with GTA 5, Red Dead Redemption 2, and all of their other modern games, Rockstar Games has done a very good job at releasing some super awesome collector's editions of these games, and GTA 6 is likely going to be no different. Now, before we get into the collector's editions, let's talk about the standard edition. Now, the standard edition of the game is likely going to contain a few pre-order bonuses that are all going to be digital, likely having to do with some single-player content as well as possibly some online content as well, and this standard edition of the game is going to be the edition that a majority of people pre-order. Now, when Rockstar released GTA 5 all the way back in 2013, the pre-order price for the standard edition was $60. Now, $60 was big money to spend all the way back in 2013, and it seems like Rockstar is going to set a new record for GTA 6, and that is going to be $70. Now, there are some games that are priced at $70 at the moment, however, the majority are still priced at $60. Now, in my opinion, $70 is still an incredible value, especially for a game like GTA 6, and I think if you were to spend any $70 on a video game, I personally would pick GTA 6 in a heartbeat. After all, you're getting the most amount of content, and of course, you're also getting that quality that you expect from a Rockstar game. Now, beyond the standard edition, Rockstar will also be releasing some special collector's editions of GTA 6. Now, as the name suggests, these of course are for collectors, so people that are big fans of the game and want something physical that they can keep besides just the game. Now, with GTA 5, Rockstar had two separate collector's editions. However, with their recent release of Red Dead Redemption 2 in 2018, Rockstar increased that number to 3 for 3 separate collector's editions tiers. Now let's go ahead and talk about the cheaper options and then move our way up. Now, the first collector's edition that is likely going to be available for GTA 6 is what's known as a special edition. Now, the special edition will likely include the game itself, along with at least one physical piece, such as a map, which is what Rockstar has done for Red Dead Redemption 2 and GTA 5, and then in addition, it's also going to come with a good handful of exclusive content, both for single player and online. This edition is likely going to be priced at $90, just to give you an idea of what you can probably expect to pay for something like this. Now, moving our way up to something higher tiered, Rockstar is also likely going to release an Ultimate Edition of GTA 6. Now, the Ultimate Edition is going to likely come with 2 physical pieces, including what's included with the Special Edition and something even cooler. For example, with Red Dead Redemption 2, Rockstar included a really awesome themed steelbook, which allows you to store things securely inside it. In addition, Rockstar is also likely going to include some even more exclusive content both for single player and online. Again, that information of what's included is definitely not known at the moment, but you are going to get even more exclusive content digitally than the Special Edition. The Ultimate Edition is likely going to cost around $120 US, just to give you an idea of what you're likely going to pay for it. Now, moving our way up to the top tier of the collector's editions for GTA 6 that we are expecting, we are also expecting Rockstar to release a top tier, which Rockstar refers to as the collector's box. Now, they did one of these for Red Dead Redemption 2, and essentially it is a massive box filled with all the exclusive merchandise for the game. So things like maps, hats, cards, bandanas, and all of that stuff it's going to be included in one awesome themed box, and of course everything is going to be themed to GTA 6. Now, one interesting thing about the collector's box is that it is likely not going to include the game. So this means that this is strictly a merchandise item and it's not going to include the game. So just keep that in mind and keep an eye out for it if Rockstar does end up going this route.